Welcome to Nuggets for Christian Living with the Sanctuary Fellowship. This week we want to consider being a blessing and be blessed. All scripture is from the New King James Version of the Bible. We all pray for the Lord to bless us, to do supernatural things in our lives and even in the lives of others. There is nothing wrong or unscriptural in praying this way. However, many of us are unaware of some of the ways that God goes about answering us. I want us to consider two ways He does His work for us. Many times, God will bless someone else just to bless us. Yes, we see this example throughout Scripture. However, we overlook this example of how God works and just think that it is us who needs to be blessed. We may not see this way of thinking as being selfish, but it is. Because being selfish is only considering ourselves only. One thing that Scripture teaches us is that God is not selfish. That you may be the sons of your Father in heaven, for He makes the sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends the rain on the just and on the unjust. Matthew 5:45. If we have this understanding of who God is, we will not get jealous or envious when we see others being blessed, so that you can be blessed. Remember that God caused nations to be blessed so that His people Israel could be blessed. He positioned Joseph to guide Egypt to preserve food supplies for a coming drought, not only to preserve the Egyptians, but also through Joseph's family, the people of Israel. So God, through the jealousy of family members that caused the man to become a slave, through God's favor upon that slave, he was elevated and positioned to become a blessing not only to his captors, but even to his family members who did him wrong, and also a nation. The Israelites were made slaves in Egypt to make that nation prosperous. When God delivered them, He caused them to leave with the wealth of the Egyptians. Now consider this. What could they do with that wealth on their journey through that wilderness? God fed them. He kept their clothing from deteriorating. He provided all their needs. His purpose behind blessing them with the wealth of the Egyptians was only revealed when it came time to the creation of the tabernacle, even though they sought to misuse it to create the golden calf. God blessed them to be a blessing to Him, and He used that blessing to be a blessing back to them. I'm reminding us of these events to point out to us that God can bless even your enemies, those who hate you, just so that they can become a blessing to you at a later date. This is why Jesus told us to bless and pray for them, because He has the ability to turn things around. Also, when He blesses you, that blessing is not for you alone. It is first and foremost for Him to use, not only to benefit you, but to also benefit others. There are times He will give you something unexpected or even that you need for yourself, then tell you to give it to someone else. You would complain or think that that voice or nudge is from the devil and not God. However, if we are bold enough to trust Him and not lean on our own understanding, our confidence will cause us to be blessed as well, fulfilling Scripture. Give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be put into your bosom. For with the same measure that you use, it will be measured back to you. Luke 6:38. So, we really don't need to pray for God to bless us. We should ask Him for and seek opportunities to be a blessing to others, looking and desiring nothing in return from those persons, but being confident in His word that it will return to us as He promised. Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days. Ecclesiastes 11:1. Thank you for joining Nuggets for Christian Living with the Sanctuary Fellowship.